Welcome to the new RiverCityGamers Podcast, hosted by SCXCR and Well Unreal 007, as well as many other members from the RiverCityGamers website. Stay tuned for all the gaming news, new pickups, and everything else we feel like talking about on the RiverCityGamers Podcast.
SCXCR, I'm Podcast Gamers River City, to welcome and hi.
Unreal.
Blondeguygamer, I'm
Onirokaku, I've been where, huh?
Are you right? News gaming to go let's, though now.
Gaming news! So unreal.
You sound like a Google Translate or something.
Well, I think gaming news pretty much has to start off with PS4. Specifically, they announced the Slim and the PS4 Pro, which is what the Nioh people were talking about as.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of you actually watch the stream where they announced this?
No.
I had it on in the background while the Easy Allies were going over it. They kept calling Mark Cerny Professor Cerny because that's basically what he did during that thing. Talk about what the PS4 Pro does, all that technobabble and shit.
Yeah, they should have presented this differently, because the thing is, the PS4, one of its selling points is its ability to do, what the hell is it called? UHD? RHD, something like that. And it's 4K video capabilities. But the problem is, if you're watching this on a stream, you are not seeing any of that.
Yeah, like, I'm just like watching and I'm like, I can't really tell the difference because we're watching it on a stream, and most people, if they're watching on a stream, probably doesn't like have a 4K display device to view this.
It actually got hilarious at one point because they tried using a still image of a sunset on a TV to show the change between regular 1080p and 4K.
Wait,
on the
wasn't
stream,
it like a beach?
On the
Wasn't
stream,
it-
it just looked like they fiddled with the brightness and contrast a bit.
Great idea. Great idea.
Also, apparently the PS4 Pro won't support 4K discs or whatever.
Yeah, it won't support 4K Blu-ray.
Oh, so you can't watch movies in 4K on it?
And not so much.
What if I want to watch Netflix in 4K?
I think you can, as long as you have a TV that does 4K.
And you know I
Stream it.
don't.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Like, even if we had... Like, it's only really good if you have a 4K television to begin with. For everyone else, I mean, I just have, like... I mean, I have an HD TV, but it's an older HD TV. It's only, like, 720p, 1080, whatever. So...
Yeah, I just have like a 20-inch like 1080p to like TV, and because I can't fit anything bigger in my room, there are other HD TVs in the house, but they don't go 4K. I think one of the things that surprised me about the PS4 Pro was that it was priced at like $400 US. I thought it was going to be higher, but they're selling it at the price point the PS4 had at launch, which really surprised me. But as of right now, like, as a current PS4 owner, I see no reason to upgrade. I mean, yeah, there's also the PS4 Slim, but I already have a PS4.
Well, I don't. So I could maybe see getting the Slim as a possibility, but... Like I said, I don't have a 4K TV, so I don't really see a point to getting a Pro at the moment.
I could see getting a regular PS4 as they try to shift stock of that.
Did they mention the price of the Slim? Because I don't think I found out what the price was.
I think it was
$299.
$300.
Okay. Because, like, this, like, as of recording, it's supposed to be out this week.
Because, I mean, I have a PS2 Slim and a PS3 Slim. I mean, might as well keep that trend going, right?
Yo, Blondie, you better pick up Destiny if you get a PS4. Or at least The Last Guardian, because that comes out next month.
Well, Last Guardian is on there, sure.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I need
PS4.
more people to play Destiny with.
Oh, the thing I was talking about before was HDR, which is something else we
Right,
talked about. But here's the thing. Regular PS4s are getting a firmware update to support that.
What is HDR to begin with?
I don't fucking know.
High dynamic range, I think.
Is this the PS4's equivalent of blast processing?
Sure.
I guess.
I've seen HDR as an option in some source engine games. So I don't know. Maybe we're mixing this up.
It's probably just an option to make video a little bit better, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think HDR is high dynamic range. Could be wrong. Someone can tell us if we're wrong, but
And it doesn't help that in the presentation they were a little unclear about how certain things would work with the upgrades. Like, for example, HDR patches for games that would get made for the PS4 Pro. They weren't very clear about whether it would cost anything to do that. There was a Sony executive who was interviewed and asked about whether the updates would be free or whether they would cost extra, and his answer was, "That's correct." Explain?
I think it's programming malfunctioned there with the response.
That's correct. Error.
I hate when people do that. You give them an either-or question and they answer with yes or no.
Because they're pretty much just told, only say that,
What, my son, the planet, or me?
So, PlayStation 4 Pro, it's slightly faster to the max.
Yeah, but the PS4 can still be entertaining to the max.
I still want to get a PS4 or a Slim sometimes, so...
Yeah, me too. It's just not in the cards yet. Moving on, Nintendo. The last, couple console generations have been weird, because it's been Sony and Microsoft going head-to-head with each other, and Nintendo's just kind of off in their own little world. But anyway, Nintendo...
That tends to happen.
They announced recently that they're going to do a mobile game called Super Mario Run.
Boy, does he run!
He does run and jump.
Oh yeah, this was announced at the Apple conference.
Yeah, this was the same day as the PS4 Pro announcement. It was all in the same general place.
Right.
And on top of that, Pokemon Go is also coming to Apple devices. And this caused a spike in Nintendo's stocks.
Well, yeah, because it's they're getting more invested into mobile. Buy, sell, whatever, stocks.
Their prices jumped to about $36 a share, which is, for reference, when they had that huge spike for Pokemon Go, it was $38.25 a share, so it's really close to that.
We're Nintendo, we're finally getting back on the top!
But then there's the other Nintendo news. And it doesn't involve things going up so much as things being taken down. Particularly, and little foreshadowing, because I know you said you were going to talk about this, Blondie, but another Metroid 2 remake taken down. Pokemon Uranium version taken down. And then they went to Game Jolt, which is a place where independent developers put up various game-related projects, and took down hundreds of fan games.
Ooh.
Now,
Okay.
for the Game Jolt thing, how many of those do you think were shitty fan games?
96%.
Yeah, there was
Game
what?
Jolt-
They took down 500.
Game Jolt is shit.
Yeah.
So in the Game Jolt regard, it's whatever. They're bad, but again, it's gonna go with Blondie soon. But Metroid 2 Remake is probably expected, but also kind of disappointing.
That's the thing, though. It's good, but fan games have always been in a weird gray area where affiliated companies can take action if they so choose to, and Nintendo has the right to, whether we like it or not,
Well,
with these fan games.
Then
There
you
was
go to
actually
the
some-
Sonic Twitter.
There was actually some rationale for this. Because something Game Jolt has is ad revenue sharing for developers. So technically, they could make money off of their fan games.
Yeah, if when it comes to that, that's definitely kind of a because with the other Metroid 2 remake and I assume the Pokemon Uranium, they were they were free to download.
Absolutely free.
And I'm pretty sure you can still find means to download them, regardless
You're
of. You're
basically like throwing around mixtapes at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of. But it also kind of depends on just how the company handles them either. Because remember back a few years ago when the Mega Man Cross Street Fighter came out? Like I believe that was originally a fan-made thing, and then Capcom saw it, and then they actually hired the guy and made it an actual official thing. You know, it was still free to download and everything. So
Yeah, something kind of similar to that also happened with, I believe it was the Resident Evil 2 remake?
oh right, because originally it wasn't the Resident Evil 2 remake a fan thing, or at least
All I
work in
remember
progress.
is like, I may be wrong, but I remember hearing that the guy canceled the fan remake because it's like, well, Capcom's doing it now, so they can totally do it. Well, you know, I don't know if he got hired for anything. I'm pretty sure he stopped production himself because Capcom actually started work on an actual RE2 remake.
Well, I know the only thing I know of successful wise, besides that, was Sega and Christian Whitehead. Because wasn't he the guy that did the remake of Sonic CD?
More like the ports.
Okay, the ports. And Sega was like, "Oh, this is pretty good. You want a job?" Yeah.
And now they're making an official like game that's like new.
I looked
yeah,
it up
that's-
just to be absolutely sure. They did abandon the project because Capcom was doing the official remake, but then they were invited to meet with the Capcom dev team to discuss ideas about the remake.
Okay.
Okay, that does sound familiar now.
I guess more of the question is, should Nintendo, instead of suing, putting a DMCA claim on the free Metroid game, could they have just like, we want to take your idea, but we want to pay you for it. Do you want a job? And they could have been like, yeah, I want a job.
Well, it's hard to say really, because the reason Nintendo did that kind of thing to begin with was to, protect their IPs essentially. They didn't want it to make it so that just anyone could just make whatever with their assets. They don't. That's why they did that. They don't want that to happen.
Even though they're not making money off of it. Game Jolt, fuck them. Just put them to
Okay,
the
well,
side.
we made our point with Game Jolt, but
Anyway,
even when you don't, even when you make it for free, you're still taking things that don't technically belong to you and making your own thing out of it. And again, that's a very kind of gray area to begin with. So Nintendo's, I guess, more strict about that thing than other companies. So it's hard to say whether or not they'll loosen up or realize that, hey, there are people that are really passionate about our games and they want to make their own things out of it. But at the same time, it's like you're technically stealing things to be, from our games. So it's, I don't know. Again, it's a very hard thing to try and discuss about whether or not it can work or cannot work. It's.
You know what's so bad?
Hmm?
The remake is better than the original.
Of what, Metroid 2?
Yeah.
Well, it's a huge overhaul compared to a Game Boy game. So
The original was an early Game Boy game.
Exactly. And now you see this, and Nintendo's like, "Oh, how dare they!"
Actually, you know what else might have played into it? Metroid 2 is actually something that they put up not too long ago with their Virtual Console service.
yeah, and the guy who made the Metroid 2 remake pretty much said that if you want to keep supporting the series, or at least support classic Metroid, buy Metroid 2 on the eShop for the 3DS. So
Well, that's pretty much all I had for gaming news. For now, let's just roll into upcoming releases. And we actually have some things we can mention for this. Okay, never mind, that's sports games.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey,
Good start.
remember Recore?
Well, yeah, that's the thing they kept showing at the Microsoft conferences.
ReCore is
Oh,
a
yeah.
game.
What was that again? It sounds familiar.
It's made by the Retro Studio guys, and
Yeah, I was going to say that. Retro Studios developers. It might be interesting.
What about Bioshock the Collection? Isn't that coming out this week?
Who gives a fuck? It's a collection.
I care because I actually like the series.
it's not a new
I
game.
like
That's
Bioshock
not a new
too,
game.
but yeah, I like Bioshock, but it's not a new thing. It's just like a compilation.
It's why we're also skipping the Dead Rising re-releases.
Oh, October is getting Mafia 3.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
I'm surprised that's still going, that series. I mean, I know Mafia 2 wasn't too long ago, but
Mafia 2 was actually good, so that one might be a rental.
Also in October, Civilization 6.
oh, 6 Civilization.
Oh, here's a game that absolutely everyone will love and no one will have anything negative to say about.
Oh God, here it comes.
In October, Paper Mario Color Splash.
Okay, yeah.
How soon in October?
Okay.
7th.
Oh, okay, that's early.
Okay, you know what? I've been holding this off. I traded my Wii U in.
Okay.
Okay.
Not because of that, but because I think it's just like hearing Breath of the Wind come in.
Breath of
Wild.
the Wind.
Breath of
It's
the
wild.
Wild. Breath of the Wild. Whatever. I don't care. Shows how much I care about Zelda, by the way. Fuck. Anyway. You know, I found out it was going to be for the Wii U and the NX. I was like, why should I care? Why should I care about the
We
Wii U?
don't know what the fuck the NX is still.
I know.
Yeah, and you're just basically just trading a console away with all these games you presumably had played on it before, so it's like,
Blondie, the Wii U is a Wii U, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. I mean an NX.
okay, enough about Oni's usual trade-in shit. Back to the Paper Mario Color Splash, to stay things on topic. People are not really looking forward to that because it's kind of the same thing as Sticker Star, where it's like people like the Paper Mario fan base didn't like Sticker Star and how it played.
Oh
I
God,
did-
I didn't like
I did play through Sticker Star. I know it has problems, but it's not the worst goddamn thing in the world.
I couldn't get through all the way in Sticker Star, so I can't really.
Most people didn't, so I know why. I don't blame you, but at the same time, it's like what pisses me off about this. And I know I'll probably tick off some people for saying this kind of thing, but I don't really care. I'm just sick of people
listens to this podcast.
Oh God.
how instant the fan base was just like, no, fuck that. We want our old Paper Mario back. When I honestly think that given some improvements, Sticker Star could work. And maybe if you give Color Splash a chance, it could be a better game than Sticker Star. And I'm not saying it's going to be exactly what people want. I'm just saying that Color Splash can still be an improvement of the Sticker Star formula.
I don't know if it's rumor or true or not. You can clarify. I heard they legit took the RPG element out of Color Splash. Basically, it's Super Paper Mario minus the
Well,
fun.
yeah, it hasn't been really a traditional RPG since Thousand Year Door to begin with in the series. Like, they've had RPG-ish elements in Super Paper Mario and Sticker Star, but it's not traditional. And frankly, it won't be. So as much as I do love the first Paper Mario and Thousand Year Door, that style isn't really going to come back, or at least there's not going to be a chance of it coming back. So,
And if you want that, you go to the Mario and Luigi series.
well, yeah, that's also a bit more traditional than what Paper Mario is doing, but.
If you
And
want,
I'm just tired of like how extremely jaded the fan base is towards this style of Paper Mario when they claim it's like the absolute worst thing and then it's a complete piece of shit with Sticker Star, and then they see Color Splash and they're just like, and then they immediately just like no, when they haven't really given a chance to look into it and see what it actually is. Now, granted, if it is like Sticker Star, exactly like Sticker Star, and it's just the same kind of, mismatch of stuff that it doesn't really sit well with Paper Mario fans, then fine. I'll admit that it won't be that good if that does happen. But all I'm saying is that at least wait till the game comes out before you throw a hissy fit. Really, that's all I'm saying.
Can I bring up this article I saw on Color Splash? I just saw the title for it a few days ago, and I'm just like, what? It was along the lines of Paper Mario Color Splash has the most realistic looking lemons ever. And I'm like, what the fuck? What does that have to do? Why?
What does that have to do with the game? What?
This was on IGN, keep in mind. I'm trying to find it again, but I was dumbfounded that I immediately closed the tab. I'm just like, no, I'm out.
Okay, if it's like Sticker Star, it probably has it incorporates real world items, and if there are lemons like that, but that's an odd thing to say.
Getting away from lemons. Two big RPGs on 3DS coming out within close proximity of each other. Dragon Quest VII and Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse.
Wait, is SMT October?
No, it's September.
Oh, fuck. I thought it was, the 20th?
It is the 20th, and then DQ7 is 4 days before that.
I mean, I had Dragon Quest 7 on PS2.
A 3DS game releasing on a Tuesday? Wow.
And you know what's a week after that?
What?
Oh.
Sonic Boom Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised that's coming. That's actually coming out.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
I would say hell is.
I haven't really heard anything about it since it was announced, so that kind of threw me off.
Well, the last time I saw it was that Sonic Anniversary stream, and I just
I heard some people played it at demos and said that it was kind of boring.
So just like the Sonic Boom games to begin with, or the first one anyway.
Well, it'll be better if it's just a more stable game.
I guess.
Okay, 3 days after that is Yokai Watch 2.
Okay, I have a question. This may be the old guy talking in me, but what the hell's a Yokai Watch?
It's a watch that you use to catch yokai.
It's kind of like another Pokemon type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in the same vein as Pokemon. It was in Japan for a while, and they just, within the past few years, have been trying to get it to catch on in North America.
Yeah, that's not happening because every time I go to GameStop, I see these things right beside Amiibo, by the way, on clearance.
Well, then again, we're clearly not really the target demographic, so.
Well,
No.
How can you not latch onto these games with... Okay, they do the two-game thing like Pokemon does. How can you not latch onto a game called Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits?
Oh, God.
Or even better, Yokai Watch 2, Fleshy Souls.
Oh, God.
That's what I said when I was looking through the releases. I think a couple of weeks ago. I'm just like, what are these titles for Yokai Watch?
Did the marketing department was the marketing department? You know what? I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. No. I want to keep it as PG-13 as we can.
You have a hard enough time staying PG-13 as it is.
I know you're looking mainly at physical releases, but there is another thing coming out on the 20th. That is a digital thing. It's the expansion for Destiny, Rise of Iron.
Oh yeah, that game that only you are playing right now.
Yeah, that I'm the only one here playing, which is weird. I've recently gotten back into it, and I didn't think I'd be getting back into it.
Let's get on to superior console games like Cartoon Network Battle Crashers, excuse me.
Featuring two shows that recently got canceled.
What shows?
Uncle Grandpa has been canceled, and regular show is canceled after its upcoming season, which is season 8.
What?
I'm saddened by the latter. I don't know if Gumball's on there, but Gumball's ending after season 6, but it wasn't canceled. It was the creators, So a lot of cartoons in there are basically not going to be part of the network anymore.
Man, I liked regular show. What the hell?
I love regular shows still. I'm devastated by the cancellation news, but I'm just like, fuck, may as well go out on 8 seasons instead of going Simpsons dick.
Good
you
point.
know,
Yeah,
I mean,
better 8 seasons than like 1 or 2.
at least you could still get your classic Simpsons quotes in.
But anyway, who's gonna care about this game?
Well,
Kids that still watch.
kids that want to play as the Steven Universe man, because he is I can't vouch for the Smash clone because I haven't played it. I know Angel Halo has, but I'm just like,
Zero's played it as well.
oh
You talking
right,
about Punch
his
Time
boring ass. Goddamn it. Like, didn't he record that
dude.
when everyone was like fucking tired, like wanted to go to bed? Like,
Wait a minute, you're talking about Punch Time Explosion, right?
yeah, I'm saying that as a comparison piece because that was like the last CN game.
I don't think
It's
everyone
like-
was tired when they played that. I think the game just put everyone to sleep.
Pretty much.
And she was like, "Come on, one more match, guys, come on." No.
No.
So bad. But Battle Clashers is like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, I think. It'll probably be shit, but it could also be mediocre. Who knows? If it's actually good, then whatever. I don't know. I saw gameplay, and for some reason, like, some of the art styles on the characters, like, they don't feel right. They don't feel like how they should look. Like, I looked at Steven, and I'm just like, no, something's off about Steven. But
Well, with all the different cartoons styles.
no, not the
transition,
clashing
but-
styles. Just the fact that they don't look like themselves. As in, like, they got
Whatever. It's just
Moving on. This game totally has a release date that's coming up. The Last Guardian.
one of the many games to get a PS4 really. At this point.
just don't do a last second delay like Final Fantasy 15.
Was that last second?
The September release, like the September was really close. When Final Fantasy 15 said, "Yo, we gotta delay it because of the day one patch shit and how everyone doesn't really have internet." So they're putting the day one patch in the game instead of having it be a download. So they're delaying it by
Wow.
months.
Okay, that's actually interesting because, most other companies assume, everyone has internet, so they can download the patch.
They just want the game to be the best it could at launch, and then they'll just
Fair enough,
throw the
'cause-
season pass down your ass, which they pretty much are doing with FF15.
Well,
And with that, we will bring upcoming releases to a close. Blondie,
yes.
what have you recently played?
Well, we did bring it up earlier, but I did play through the other Metroid 2 remake. For a fan project that was essentially done by one person, it's actually really good because it's pretty much just a complete overhaul of Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. Now, I did play through Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, and for what it was, it is a little bit hard to get into compared to the newer Metroids. Because for one, there's no map, and there's a bunch of other little nuances that have been implemented yet in the series. So it is definitely like old Metroid to get into, but it's still serviceable. It's still a good Game Boy game for what it was. But the remake, it definitely adds a lot to the foundation that the Game Boy version had. For one, you have pretty much all the power-ups and features from Super Metroid and in Metroid Fusion, Zero Mission, those newer 2D Metroids. They add in some new areas and stuff, and they even add some boss fights. And the boss fights are actually pretty cool because there are some that you may recognize from Metroid Fusion, and this is just going by the canon of Metroid, but because what you fought in Metroid Fusion were originally SR388, the planet's inhabitants, you actually fight him in this remake, which makes sense because they're originally on the planet to begin with. So it's like, oh, cool, you get to see these versions of bosses you fought in Metroid Fusion in this remake. What's also neat is that there's some new sequences, there's new stuff that's been added, like I said. Overall, it just feels quite good, and there's a lot of control options too. You can make it play like Super Metroid or the Game Boy Advance Metroids. I mean, say what you will, but Federation Force, it definitely wasn't really what most Metroid fans wanted. whether or not they get it or not. I mean, I still haven't gotten the game, but I still plan on getting that game eventually. But in the meantime, I saw this, and it's like, okay, this feels like a more proper, way to celebrate the Metroid 30th anniversary, because it's it's a classic style Metroid, albeit a fan project that took like, I think, like over 5 years or something to make. So, needless to say, if you're a Metroid fan, you probably already downloaded this in some capacity and played it. It does kind of suck that Nintendo took it down, but you can find, other means to download it yourself. And I actually do recommend checking it out, because it is definitely an interesting take on Metroid. Because this is essentially what Metroid Zero Mission did with the first game, in terms of like remaking it, and then it took that and took it a step up and adding new stuff and everything too, and it's actually pretty cool.
I haven't played it yet, sorry to butt in, but I did actually download it, and I still haven't gotten to it yet.
Once you do, I think you'll like it. It's definitely something that I enjoyed. Although, wait, you don't have a controller, do you?
No, but that's never stopped me before.
Dude, I keep telling you, get a controller for these types of games on PC. Like, I used a Logitech controller, and that worked fine with this game. Because it is compatible with, like, Xbox 360 type controllers like that.
Whereas some people get worse when they at playing video games as they get older, somehow I've gotten better. And the thing I've gotten really good at is adapting to control schemes. I am the Borg when it comes to playing games with a keyboard and mouse.
Well,
and when bored James is bored.
Well, I'll give you that if you're able to just play these types of games with a keyboard, because I can't really do it myself. But even then, a controller's like not that expensive. Like, you probably get a Logitech controller like the one I have for like $20 or something.
I mean, my brother probably has more wired 360 controllers than he needs. So maybe one day I would say, "Hey, can I just have one?" He's probably gonna say no.
Or just borrow one. I don't know.
Borrow one? Well, he lives like a couple towns away, so.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I mean, if he lived in the same house as me, still, I'd be like, "Yeah, let me borrow that shit. I want to play Metroid."
Okay, but anyway, keep in the vein of, like, I guess Metroid style games. I had the game that I did actually buy and play some of recently it's a game called Song of the Deep. Now, this is a Metroidvania style game. It was actually made by Insomniac Games. What it is you play as a 12-year-old girl named Marin, who is searching for her father, who got like lost out in sea, who's a fisherman who got lost out in sea. So what she does is she makes a submarine and goes out to search for her father. And all the while you come across all these different mythical sea creatures and ruins and stuff like that. It's definitely a good Metroidvania game, I feel. It has a nice 2D art style, and it definitely has that feeling of, like, exploring lost civilizations and encountering all these different sea creatures and stuff throughout the ocean. There's definitely Metroidvania conventions. You get new power-ups, you use those to progress to new areas, you get treasures to upgrade your abilities even further through a basic like shop system. And this game actually kind of reminds me of Child of Light. It kind of in the vein of, like, you're a little girl going through this world. It also kind of has a narration going for it, which again reminded me of Child of Light. And and the whole, like, being able to move around freely and stuff. Although in this one it's more of a Metroid style game where you have to, like, get past certain obstacles once you have the abilities acquired. So I'm a fan of Metroidvania games, so this I definitely was interested in getting and trying out, and I'm glad I did, because it's a pretty good game so far. I'm about maybe like halfway through it or something like that. And also what's interesting is that I did get this for Steam, but I actually found a physical copy. They actually sell physical copies of this, even for PC, and it's like $20. So if you do see them at like GameStops or whatever, it's definitely something I would pick up or at least check out.
Believe it or not, Song of the Deep is it's a thing that's been developed by GameStop, published by GameStop via their other company. I think it's called Game Loft.
Game Trust.
Game Trust. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I have been looking this up, and yeah, I'm glad you did bring that up because there are retail copies, but it's through, like I said, GameStop, so it is a partnership thing. But the fact that you can still get a new retail version of a PC game is, it's not that common these days. So it's definitely kind of neat to get that kind of thing.
Yep. Okay,
and I'm just gonna quickly go over one last game that I actually picked up very recently and played through some of it, and that's actually it's a peculiar game. It's Shadowgate 64 for the N64, obviously. Oh, do you know about this game, Scott?
I played that a long time ago.
Oh yeah? Do you remember much of it, or?
I don't remember very much of it. I mean, obviously based upon the original Shadowgate. So.
Well, yeah, this is a sequel to Shadowgate. Although, believe it or not, there was a sequel on the TurboGrafx 16 CD called Beyond Shadowgate, but it's like $1 billion to get a copy. So, but this is like the third game in the series. So it does take place sometime after the original Shadowgate, which I did play through on the NES. So that's why I got this, because it's like, oh, it's another Shadowgate game. Now, what this is, it's essentially a first-person adventure game. You play as a halfling named Dell, who got captured by thieves and is thrown into a dungeon. Then you have to escape, and then you have to go through this the castle complex, which is called Shadowgate in this game, and you have to go through the 4 towers, and you eventually have to stop like an evil sorcerer from trying to resurrect the Warlock Lord, which was the villain in the first game. How this game plays out is you move around in first person. Now, keep in mind, this is an N64 game, so the way you control, and you move forward and strafe with the C buttons and look around with the analog stick. So it's that kind of setup with this game, kind of like the Turok games. I believe it's how you moved in first person those. It's actually a pretty basic, like in terms of conventional, almost point and click adventure game where you go around, find stuff, and use items on different things. The only problem with this game is that it's a pretty dark game, so you can easily miss out on items that you would otherwise not see right away, and that you would need much later. So there have been times when I'm like, wait, I need this item, where was it? Kind of thing, and I have to go all the way back and get this thing that I otherwise didn't know it was a pickable item, that kind of thing. Now, this game does suffer a little bit from like a bit of those adventure game tropes. Like I said, if you don't find the item right away, you'll have to go back for it later, type of thing. But there's also like some vague solutions. Like sometimes you'll find solutions in these like books that you can collect and read up upon. But then there's other times where it's just like, I kind of needed to look up a guide to know that I need to use this item here, kind of thing. And strangely enough, even though I know this is not the best like adventure game out there, I still feel kind of compelled to just kind of go through it, because I don't know, it's kind of like you kind of get that itch when you play an adventure game where it's like once you start collecting all this stuff and you do everything, things get set into motion, and you kind of feel compelled to just kind of play through it to the end. That's kind of how I'm feeling with this game right now, albeit I do need a guide now and then to figure out some stuff. But that's what I tend to do in most adventure games anyway. So I'm not hugely proficient at those types of games. So sometimes I need help. Now, the only other thing I could say that isn't great is that there's often a lot of items which are just red herrings, where you can find or get certain items and they actually don't do anything. That is kind of irksome, because in most adventure games you want to collect all the stuff and get everything because it could have some purpose, but then you'll run across some items in this game where it's like, oh, they actually don't do anything. Gee, thanks. And there is a little bit of trial and error in this game too, and there have been times when I did die, because apparently Dell in this game, if you fall off even just like a 1-story fall, you'll die. If you fall in the water, you die. Although I haven't died that much in this game, so it's not like death isn't like a huge problem, and you can save anywhere. Well, as long as you have a controller pack, because it is one of those games where you need one. But yeah, so far this game's not bad. But it's not that great either. It's kind of middling, but I still feel kind of compelled just to play through it anyway. Is that weird, or I don't know?
No.
But yeah, it's interesting as like a late '90s N64 game done in this kind of style of game, you know. So I don't really regret getting it. It's a novelty, or at least an interesting set piece, and that's really all that I've played recently. So any of you guys can go now.
Okay, Oni, how about you?
Not much on my end, but I've been, considering that PlayStation Plus does free games, I was able to get Saints Row Get Out of Hell, the PS4 version. I know, why? Free. That's all.
I wasn't asking.
Well, anyway. You kind of already answered that, because it's like PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, it's free. That's the only thing I can do. Oh, and I hadn't said it on here. Saints Row Get Out of Hell was supposed to be a DLC for Saints Row 4, but then it turned into its own standalone. And believe it or not, I found out recently that the next game coming, Agents of Mayhem, is, I think it's like a pseudo sequel to Saints Row Get Out of Hell. Believe it or not.
Well, it takes place in the Saints Row universe, right? So
yeah, but the thing is, spoiler alert, you get like multiple endings in Get Out of Hell. One of them is recreate the Earth, but retcon the entire Saints Row series. Guess what's the canon ending?
Well, better explanation than most reboots, anyway.
Yeah, they pretty much said, yeah, if you choose this ending, you're basically rebooting the series. And with Agents of Mayhem coming out, it's basically a reboot. I just love how Deep Silver just don't give a damn. It's like, oh, we know it's a reboot. The game knows it's a reboot, so who cares?
Well, you mean Volition? They're developers.
Volition. I apologize.
Deep Silver's a publisher. Well, they could have some factored into it too, but
yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I've been playing that again because it's free. I'm actually about to hopefully soon play Journey, because I heard it was pretty good.
Yeah, that is a good game.
Yeah, that is free.
It's a pretty short game, but it's definitely an experience worth checking out.
Yeah, it's free this month, so yeah, I'm gonna try that. Try it out.
It's even more fun if you make sure to rotate the camera the entire time.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
And that's why I don't let you play my games.
I did play Shovel Knight finally.
Wow, 2 years late to the party, but okay.
Yeah, I'm usually the last guy to get into the party, and it's about halfway done, and almost everybody's leaving. Where y'all going? I loved it. I mean, it is like Mega Man meets DuckTales meets Super Mario Brothers 3 in a way, and it gives some death element, and the story just sucks you in, man. You want to play more of it, but you're afraid of what might happen.
Afraid of what? It's not going to bite you.
No, it's not that kind of thing. I'm just like, you're afraid that something's going to really bad happen to these characters, because I played a few games where you've been the main character and then all of a sudden the main character dies. It's not like that game over kind of deal, but it's more like...
Okay, well, for what I recall, the plot of Shovel Knight is not that, shall we say, complex, so I don't think you need to worry too much.
Well, I've already beaten it, so it doesn't
okay,
matter.
Well, then you knew what happened, so...
Yeah, I know what happened, so I'm just telling you how I was feeling.
Okay, right.
Yeah, and but by the end, you notice everything's gonna be fine, and it's just, you have that awe moment. Like at the end, I'm not gonna spoil it. Well, wait a minute, everybody's already played the game. Where,
Not everybody. Hell, I don't
not
even think Zero played it yet.
Okay, I won't spoil it then, but you get what I mean. I think we know where we're going. And, I got to play a little bit as Plague Knight. It wasn't as good.
Okay, well, that I was a little bit curious, because I did play Shovel Knight, but I've only played through the main story back when it came out, so I haven't played any of the new stuff.
Put it this way. the best of the best experienced can be as good, and I'm not that good, so. But I wouldn't say it's a waste. I mean, I'd pick it up. I mean, I rented mine, but I still played it, and it was pretty good. I loved it, and I kind of hope in a way they make a sequel to it. I don't know what. But,
No, it could be feasible.
no,
It's just that they've been adding new content ever since it kind of came out, but it's like I still hope they do make a sequel or at least a follow-up of some kind.
yeah, I'd play it. You already got me hooked, so.
A lot of people did. A lot of people liked Shovel Knight.
I mean, there was a couple other games. One of them's a sports game that I bought before, and it came out for fucking free, and I'm just like, thanks, I know where I wasted my money now, and I should never do this again, but apparently my brain's gonna be like, you're gonna do it anyway, asshole. I hate myself. I really do.
Stop the revision aside.
And the other game I'm gonna be playing, I don't know if anybody around us River City Gamers have played it. Lords of the Fallen.
I played I actually played it from Down Phoenix when it came out. Like, he wanted me to try. I'm like, okay, I'll do it through the internet. So because of how PS4 SharePlay works, depending on your connection, things may be laggy and stuff. I had some slight input delay when trying to play, and I still performed relatively fine, which pretty much says, well, this is Easy Man Souls if I can just get through with input delay of all things.
So what kind of game is this?
I have no idea because, like I said, I'm about to play it.
Okay, so Lords of the Fallen is basically a Souls game, or as people have called it, like Americans' take on a Souls game, and apparently not as good.
Well, it's free this month at the time.
Yeah, that is a free. I'd rather play Journey since that's on the free list.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be playing Journey. Hopefully after we are done with the podcast, because I'm actually looking forward to that one. I've been hearing so many good things about it, and I want to try it.
Well, now you can. So.
Yeah, now I can because I'm a broke ass person.
Well, going back to that Lords of the Fallen, I believe it was called, right?
Yeah.
So it's essentially another Dark Souls clone. Is that what it just is, really?
Yeah, just insert I'm a clone and blah blah blah. Yeah. From what
it reminds me of okay, it's not like a 2D thing, is it? Or am I thinking of something else?
It plays like a Souls game.
Okay, because there was a 2D style Souls game.
That is Salt and Sanctuary.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That was made by the guys that did Charlie Murder and stuff. Okay, so I mean, it's probably as Dark Souls is. Of course, the clones will start popping up. So
Oh, I watched Slow Beef stream Lords of the Fallen a few times back when he was playing it. Less than impressed.
All right, well, at least it's free on the PlayStation Plus. So.
Yep, it's free. Gotta love the word free.
Even though you're paying for PlayStation Plus to get free stuff, but whatever.
Yeah, they do have some good stuff on there every once in a while. And then the ones that make you go, why did I get it in the first place? Oh, it's free! I think that's it for me. I mean...
Okay, well, I'll go next, and this is going to be quick. Because I haven't technically played any games recently that I'm not already doing videos on. Except, there was a Street Pass update recently for 3DS, and as part of that, you could get one of 2 free Street Pass mini games. So let's talk about those, because I'm in an awkward phase where I have 2 3DSs, so I got 1 game for each.
You still haven't transferred the save data?
Nope. Anyway, I'm also not doing any research on this, so I'm gonna screw up the names of everything. First game is Hot Wheels Slot Car Go-Go something. It's a slot car racing game where you have your car that gets put on the track, and then you can have up to 9 or 10 other people on the track at once. and you're racing around this like little slot car track. And the way it works is you hold A to keep moving, and then you'll get to these like red colored turns, and you have to stop accelerating and then accelerate out of it at the right time to get a boost. Or if you go too fast through it, you'll just crash, and then it takes you like a second to get going again. It's an okay Street Pass game. I mean, it's a Street Pass game, so there's not going to be a whole lot to it, but they do eventually like mix it up a little, because they have different kinds of boosts where you have to like hold A and then release A to get a boost off of a jump. There are other times where they have like a bunch of rapid turns in succession, so you gotta time hitting and releasing A at the right time. And they also have objectives for each track, like finish within a certain amount of time or get this many boosts in a row. It's not particularly deep, but it's interesting enough for a Street Pass title.
You know, I still haven't gotten any any other Street Pass games other than like the initial Find Me and the Puzzle Swap.
Oh yeah, they also made a change to how Puzzle Swap works. Because sometimes you'll get something called a bonus chance from certain people that you Street Pass. So instead of them giving you one piece, you choose a piece that they can give you, and then you'll get like anywhere from 5 to 10 other pieces in addition to that, depending on the size of the puzzle.
Oh wow. That
So my
helps speed
strategy of
things up.
Street Passing myself is actually paying off.
Wow.
I
And,
should be asking this question, but I know it's gonna bite me in the ass. Why are you playing them?
Well,
Because
they're
they're
Street
quick.
Pass things. Yeah, they're just something just to do on your 3DS just to kill time or something, you know? They're really good for bringing to conventions, obviously, but otherwise it's just, you know, they're just little time killers.
Anyway, there's also like a thing where you can collect certain types of cars to use on the slot car track, but you really need to Street Pass several different people in order to get those cars. And well, I'm currently not in position to do that. You also have to do that in order to get like performance boosts for your car. The way it works is there's like this little chip that gets put on your car which gives a certain stat boost to like speed or performance or whatever. And you pretty much have to Street Pass several different people in order to get any significant boosts. I mean, every once in a while you'll Street Pass one person and get like a plus 11 to performance, but that's pretty much it. And there's also an experience meter, so sometimes if you do like really bad at certain tracks, you'll have to race that track multiple times to build up enough experience so that you can get the next license to the next set of tracks. Overall, it's Street Pass game, whatever. But then there's Wall Street Kid 2K16.
I'm sorry, my head just exploded. What?
I don't think I imagine that's not what it's actually called, but I imagine it's something to
just
do
like
with.
how the slot car game doesn't actually have the word Hot Wheels in it.
It
I know
could have
that
been
just-
it could be if it was an actual Hot Wheels game thing.
Oh no, I just heard that title. I'm just like, what?
As you might guess, it's a stock market game. And the way that works is everyone that you Street Passed becomes an analyst for you. And you have to like be able to buy shares when they go really low and sell shares when they get really high. Because in like a 10 to 15 second span, you'll see this graph that simulates an entire day of stock trading. So the price like goes down, goes way up. Every once in a while they'll introduce a new product and that causes the price to skyrocket. And you have to manage that in order to build up enough money to climb up the ranks of, I don't even know what you call it, really. Climb up the ranks of investors, I guess? But if you have fewer people Street Passed, you can view like stock projections of how things are going to go for the day, and it'll be like this really vague line that doesn't give you a good idea of what's going to happen. If you have more people, though, it gives a more detailed like prediction of what is going to happen, so it's easier to determine when to buy and sell. And you can also buy and sell outside of it, in case it's going to like start really low and go high, or start really high and go low. But the thing is, you're supposed to be building up money, But along the way, they're like, "Oh, buy this stuff from the shop." Why? Why would I do that when I'm trying to save up money so that I can?
You gotta spend money to make money?
No, it's just like, it's not necessary stuff. It's like pure decorative stuff.
Well, it's like, might as well have something to buy with your money, right?
Yeah, but the entire thing about this is to be able to save money and spend it wisely so that you can get like a shit ton of it in order to, I guess, quote unquote, beat the market. So between those two, I'd say, what the hell did I call it?
Like Wall Street Kid 2016.
Oh, Wall Street Kid 2K16 Day 1 Pre-Order Edition. I didn't like that as much as Super Indy NASCAR Slot Hot Wheels Micro Machines Racer Horizon Edition. And that's pretty much all I can talk about. So, Unreal, if you have anything.
Okay, going into more beta talk, because there were 2 recently that happened. Battlefield 1 happened recently. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about Battlefield 1, honestly, from playing it. Maybe it's because I was playing it wrong, but there's a couple of things that I just kind of threw me off. Like, it is at its foundation still Battlefield, but there's just some changes that make it feel definitely different from, say, like Battlefield 3 and 4. Like, vehicles are, I'd say, way more important now, because if you're on foot, your chances against a vehicle are way lower than they have ever been. And it took me a while to get used to that.
That's actually kind of funny because vehicles, they were prominent in World War One, but they often like had issues and would break down and stuff. So they weren't like the most reliable thing back then, but I guess they are in this game.
I would have gone back to it more, but the beta ended on the 8th, so I can't even like talk more about it. There was only one map. It's huge. I think the funniest thing I've ever had with the beta were some of the bugs that was happening. Like, a lot of it is like visual errors. Like, sometimes I would see like my teammates backpacks swing like fucking back and forth, stretching everywhere. That happened a lot, and I actually recorded some of it on my PS4. It was pretty funny. I was able to play with a couple of my friends. Definitely helps if you're in a good squad.
Well, as with any.
Yeah, as per franchise rule, really helps. There's really not much I can go on to it. It definitely feels like Battlefield, but like, one thing I noticed about the user interface is that it seems like they took the interface they kind of used a little bit from Star Wars Battlefront and put it in this game. Really stuck out to me. And really not much to go on with Battlefield 1. With only like one, they had 2 modes. They had Conquest, which works sort of the same, but holding the flags is more important than kills now, I believe I was told. And I played one game of Rush, and I immediately hated it, so I just never played it again. Well, again, it like, if you're on foot, countering vehicles is insanely difficult. You have to like really find artillery on the ground and stuff. There is a class that does have C4 and anti-tank stuff, but because of the setting, you don't have like rocket launchers and stuff, so it's way more difficult to deal with this kind of situation. I wasn't planning on getting Battlefield 1, and I'm still not planning on it, because it's more like, there's other games I kind of want to play, but I'm going out of the beta saying like I didn't hate it. It's just like, it felt different from the other Battlefields I played, and I don't think I put enough time for me to adjust into it and like properly enjoy it. So in a way, it is kind of my fault. The other beta was for Nioh, which I actually played the alpha a couple of months back. I immediately noticed the changes with how the game handled.
What was Nioh again?
It's the Team Ninja game that's... Well, okay, it's it's a Koei Tecmo game, and I think it is being developed by Team Ninja. It's this like samurai-esque Onimusha Dark Souls type of game.
Going back to another Dark Souls clone.
But this one, like, you can tell it has Souls influence, but it is not as blatant as Lords of the Fallen, for example. Like, Nioh has its own thing going for it, particularly with how the combat works, as well as the survivability and encounters and stuff. Yeah, you can die quickly in Souls games, but there are opportunities where you can just die in one hit in Nioh if you're not careful. Differences from the alpha I noticed. Well, I noticed it. They mentioned it like post-alpha, like the changes they were gonna do, and it did happen in the beta. Like, weapons no longer have durability, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Same with armor. They changed the camera a little bit, so like when you're locked on, it's not like a diagonal view. It's more in line with Souls, where it locks on directly in front of you, if that makes sense, going from camera. Playability wise, I think it feels slightly better than the alpha, but I'm just trying to remember how it felt. It felt pretty good in the alpha, but it definitely still feels good to play here. The alpha had 2 stages, and this one had... They took the first level and put it in again, but there's a brand new stage in the beta, and I was able to get through that after, like, attempting the fucking boss a bunch of times, which was really irritating to fight. There were also a couple side missions. I didn't do them all. Again, the Nioh beta's over, so can't do any more with that. I did get my rewards, though, because if you, like, beat both stages, you get, like, something for the full game, and, well, I got both. Although I'm probably not gonna play the full game. Just like the alpha, you were able to play online. You have to like be in like the hub. I guess I'll just call it the map. It's not a hub world, but it's like a map. You select levels. You're able to play online and stuff, I think, after you beat the first stage. But I decided to do that after I beat both stages, and then I joined some other people's games, which I think the connection worked a bit better than the alpha, but there were times where there were still teleporting and stuff, so there might be some netcode issues they still have to work on. Other than that, still a difficult ass game. I'm glad that they made the changes that they did. I think it's making Nioh into a better game than it was in the alpha. I don't know how soon that comes out.
Is there a date for it?
I thought they might have said this year. Could be wrong. Maybe it's next year. But, okay. But there is one other game I want to talk about that... Oh my god. I made a mistake. I don't know, like... No, I know why I rented it, but it was probably not the best decision to. So I was able to rent Virtua Quest for the GameCube. Has anyone played this game before?
No, I only know of it. I've never really seen or played it.
Oh man, this game has had me curious for quite a long time. Reading it up on Nintendo Power, I briefly got to play a demo of it years ago at just a random Best Buy. I didn't play much, but just a very tiny bit, and I was just like, I still don't know what exactly this is, other than it's related to the Virtua Fighter series. Now, I haven't really played any Virtua Fighter games. I know of it, and I have witnessed it. It's mainly because fighting games aren't my expertise. That, and I didn't really own a PS2, so couldn't really play.
Well, Virtua Fighter's been around since, like, early 90s.
Well, let me rephrase that. I pretty much hadn't had a PlayStation console around that time. But one of my brother's friends did bring it over, and I was able to watch some Virtua Fighter, but that's it.
Plus, Virtua Fighter was Sega, so it was originally on Sega consoles.
Yes.
Just saying.
But Virtua Fighter has had, like, PlayStation 2 release.
Yeah.
Wait, was there a Virtua Fighter on Dreamcast?
I'm not sure.
Oh my god. I'll just say, the more I played of Virtua Quest, I feel like the worse it got. like maybe I was just getting impatient with it, but there's just so many things as you proceed in the game that's so bafflingly terrible. First of all, I don't even remember what the fuck happened in the story. There's just some cyber terrorist thing that happens and whatever. And you're just caught up in it because you're a treasure hunter, and apparently there's these Virtua souls which contain data of the famous Virtua fighters that basically in context of the game, they give you special moves when you beat them in battle, which once I learned how to fight the Virtua Fighter cast to get those souls, the game's so easy. It involved jumping in the air, doing a 3-hit combo. Were they blocking? No. Well, you can finish your combo, air juggle them, and do like a tilt special move to follow up with that before they recover. Are they blocking? Yes. Hit A and X to grab them because they're blocking. It worked for nearly every goddamn Virtua soul fight. It was just like, are you kidding me?
Well, that is like the fighting mechanics, I believe. So.
Yeah, but I don't think you can attack while you're. Can you attack while you're in the air? Because like you can air combo, as in like you're in the air doing 3-hit combos and stuff in this. Because I'm pretty sure you can air juggle in Virtua Fighter. You can also do that here. There's a lot of things that seem like it tries to implement Virtua Fighter mechanics, but it doesn't feel that great. Because Virtua Quest is a beat 'em up, I guess. I'll describe it as that. Sometimes, I'll just be honest, sometimes the combat feels like it could be pretty entertaining, especially when you start comboing. There's some cool things you could do with your like laser grapple. Like if you're air juggling an enemy, you can continue that by grappling and doing it again, as well as throwing some special moves which have a meter for. You can also slow down time with what the game calls synapse break, and that helps things even more. Once I learned like, oh, synapse break is important, a lot of fights became slightly easier, but it was still kind of irritating to fight some of the enemies. There's some giant robot ones that barely get staggered, and if you're in the middle of a combo, they could do an attack that just sends you flying. It got so annoying by the end game. I'm just like, fucking come on.
So, from what I can gather so far, this is to Virtua Quest as Soul Calibur Legends was to the Soul Calibur series.
Now, since I haven't played Soul Calibur Legends, I would wonder which one is worse.
It depends. I'm just looking at Virtua Quest now, and the game ranking's like at around like 52%. So, and I think Soul Calibur
I should
Legends
mention the voice acting is terrible.
Around the same.
Yeah, the voice acting is fucking terrible, as come to expect from Sega, especially around that time. Graphics are fucking mixed bags. Like, the character models honestly look really nice, but a lot of the environments are just so bland. Let me just describe some of the environments you go to while in Virtua Quest. Empty city, jungle, Japanese town, docks and aircraft carrier, ancient ruins.
Ooh.
Oh, construction site, which also has a place with a golden Sonic the Hedgehog statue. I'm serious. Like, I wouldn't say, like, for a 2004-ish GameCube game, like, yeah, there's better looking games, but it's not terrible looking, but it's just, the environments just are so bland that it actually hurts the visual style a lot. If anything, the hub world, it looks like they just ripped assets from like Phantasy Star or something.
Like Phantasy Star Online?
Yeah, pretty much. But just for the hub world. Now, there are side quests you can do. I stopped doing them after a couple, because there is a side quest that's like, kill these 10 enemies within 1 minute, and I think it's fucking impossible, so whatever. You could also upgrade your character to buff your attack, defense, how much special meter you have, as well as like being able to do stuff like dodge roll and stuff. But the upgrade grid is so fucking stupid. It's like a square, and you have to like fit all these blocks in, which sounds okay, but just being able to fucking put stuff in is a pain in the ass, because you have to like rotate the cube, but you can't rotate it the way you kind of want it to. It's stuck at this one angle and you're just flipping shit, so it's so infuriating just to get this upgrade in this like one corner to maximize your output.
Sounds like how you upgrade vehicles in Valkyria Chronicles, but that game obviously did it better.
Also, this game has like 2 separate save slots. There's a save slot for when you're in like one of the combat worlds, and there's also a save slot when you're in the hub world. And I think that was a good idea, because for story reasons, when you're in a new combat area, you cannot log out. So if you somehow screw yourself over and can't really beat that world, you're gonna have to make sure you have a backup save file in the hub world so you get proper upgrades and stuff. I never really had to deal with that problem, but that is an okay backup. Because in this game, if you die, there's no checkpoints. You can go back to your last save. So you didn't save, you're done. I would call that an archaic save system, but whatever. Oh, boss fights! Oh my god. There were some boss fights in this game that just flat out suck, or were fucking a joke. I think I died a total of 3 times in my playthrough, and they were all to bosses. There was the construction yard boss, but this was like around the time where I didn't really utilize Synapse Break, so it was kind of like my bad. And another one is just like this gang up boss fight that I just didn't effectively fight in. And the last time, there's a fucking boss rush in the final level.
Oh, okay.
And oh my god, it's the worst. I died during one of the boss rush fights, so I had to start all over, as in I had to start the whole, like, there's no checkpoint, or there's no save point before the boss rush elevator room, so you have to go through a hallway of mooks that will lower your fucking health, because you can't use items in this game. You have to make sure that, you have to hope to god they drop like health pickups or something when you defeat an enemy. So you have to just go through this like hallway, going through waves of enemies, then you reach the elevator. And then I found out that apparently the boss rush is randomized, because I fought different enemies the second time through. And thankfully, they were bosses I could at least competently handle. And then after that, I got my save point. And the final boss is a fucking joke in comparison to that. And I think this game also had sequel bait for a plot I just didn't give a shit about. And of course, you know where that happened. It's like, oh, yeah, Virtua Fighter is not having a spin-off anymore, because this game is fucking shit. Yeah, but you want to know what the absolute worst fucking part of this game was?
What?
Just the fact that double jump feels like the worst double jump I've ever played in video games. It's one of those double jumps where as soon as you start descending, your double jump will not fucking happen. So you have to like be at the apex, and it feels so stiff. Like, when I was hitting the jump button, I felt like my button was broken. It was so bad.
This is an example, but it sounds even worse than how double jumping works in the Lego Star Wars games. Because if you start descending after a jump, you can't double jump.
I'd have to feel it myself, but like the double jumping in this game it doesn't feel fluid. It's so robotic in a way. And this wouldn't be so bad, but in order to proceed through the game, you have to do these hunter license tests. And in order to proceed, like you have to do these tests, and it involves platforming, which combines a lot of maneuverability stuff that you do with your grapple hook. So you'll be swinging, you'll be wall running, which, by the way, the wall running works surprisingly well. Like, it's probably one of the most consistently workable things in that game, and it's actually kind of okay.
Probably what they spend the most time on.
Yeah. Like, when wall running works, it works pretty well. It's just the double jumping is like the worst part. Well, that and okay, there's multiple grapple things you can do in this game, and it's all based on color. You have a green grapple, which just takes you to a place. Those are fine. You have yellow ones that it's just like, pendulum swing back and forth. Those are fine. There's blue ones, which are kind of like on rails. It's how do I describe it? Like you're just constantly hanging on until you let go while it carries you. And then there's the purple one, which is the worst fucking designed thing I've ever seen. In Sonic Adventure 2, where you're like swinging on the pole?
Yeah.
And you have to like let go where that meter is like red and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, but there's no meter.
Well, there's no indication.
Yeah, there's no indication, so you have to like guess. So either you will do one of three things. Either you'll let go, fly straight up in the air, you let go, and you just don't go anywhere, or you either go, but you're not high enough to hit the platform you have to go to, so you're just a little bit off. It's awful. That shit is so awful. The advanced test is, for being mandatory, nearly infuriated me. It took me a lot of attempts, and the worst part is, I would have made it to the end, but the last thing between you and the fucking goal is that purple swing, and I swung, and my ankle hit the edge, and because Say doesn't want to grab whatever fucking ledge he wants. You can grab ledges in this game, but you didn't want to grab that one. You had to do the whole fucking test again. Hell, grabbing ledges, like even when you're supposed to, doesn't feel like it works sometimes. Oh, jeez. Having those tests be mandatory to proceed in the story is so bad. Like, you wouldn't have known it was awful until you actually have to do them. The intermediate and advanced test. The advanced test way more fucking worse. Oh.
Well then.
Virtua Quest was a mistake.
Well, judging from what the reception it got, I think it was.
It's so baffling because there are things that I got some brief enjoyment out of the game. Like I can see some things in there that are kind of enjoyable, but it just does not carry itself through this whole game, which took me about 7 hours. I just stopped caring about side quests. There's no point. You could repeat side quests, by the way, to get more like points and stuff to spend on upgrades and whatever. But like, the more I played, I just got more fed up with it. It was just like, oh, I really, really don't want to play this anymore. The last thing I do want to say, though, is the music is a mixed bag. There's some honestly good music tracks in the game, but there's others that I just didn't care for. In particular, I think my favorite one in the game is the just the exploration music that plays in the construction yard like area. It's got like a nice bass groove, and I really like it.
Actually, you mentioning music maybe remind me of something that I forgot to mention during the Metroid 2 remake. I just want to say that the remix music in that is good. So
yeah, I heard some samples from that. I feel like they took cues from the Prime games, especially like with what samples and instruments like that game.
Yeah,
it's like this sounds a shit ton like Prime.
It has that Prime whistling sound, as I call it, in a lot of the tracks.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Virtua Quest.
No, not back to Virtua Quest.
Okay,
I
well,
beat the game, put that fucker back in the mailbox, said thank you very much. I'm going to bed.
And thus, we confirmed that Virtua Quest is yet another fighting game spin-off that isn't really warranted.
Now that's a Black Sheep game review that you have to play.
No, not unless you make it a $10 patron request. I'm not doing that.
No, wait. I still have to raise SDR's Patreon to do Tony Hawk.
Oh, right. Is that what you're saving your money for?
Maybe. I don't know. But, I mean, at least I got closure on Virtua Quest. I mean, I kind of knew going in that this probably wasn't going to be great. But, it does kind of hurt a little bit. Like, I can kind of see some glimmer of good in there. But then, Sega. Yeah. That closes a chapter in my book. I have no idea what I'm going to rent now.
You could rent Battlefield 1.
Nah. I mean, what? Battlefield 1's October?
Yeah.
Last Guardian takes precedent over anything in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a suggestion, you know.
And anyway, we go now from the Virtua Quest portion of the podcast to our discussion topic. And for this, I'm linking you guys something in the chat. I believe in one of my videos I referred to Interplay as a clown show of a developer and publisher.
Oh, they are. Trust me, as since I covered some stuff about that.
Oh yeah, I
before.
did hear about this.
Well,
Kind-
Interplay is selling off several game properties now. An estimated 70 franchises and dozens and dozens of characters up for sale.
Oh boy.
Hey, Blondie, you want to pitch in with me? We'll buy Earthworm Jim for $50.
Pretty sure they're gonna want more than $50.
I'm
for
pretty sure Earthworm
Jim.
Jim is gonna be like probably the first to go.
Oh, yeah.
or at least the most sought after and probably the most expensive. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't see
gee,
Clay
you
Fighter
didn't
going.
do any. You didn't really do anything with these franchises. Now you have to sell them. What a shock! Maybe you didn't get in so many.
Keep away from them now.
Maybe if you didn't get in so many damn lawsuits, you would have actually been able to make games with them.
Yeah, that. Just going by the list of games, I'm using Wikipedia as a source here. There was like a 6-year gap between Fallout Brotherhood of Steel and an Earthworm Jim re-release.
And even then, that was like just the HD re-release.
Yeah.
And then after that was like what's the Don't Keep Bones of the Ancestors?
Well, actually, after that, there was Legendary Wars T-Rex Rumble, Pinball Yeah,
8-ball, yeah?
Pinball Yeah,
Ow.
Prehistoric, spelled wrong because that's cool, Tommytronic, Crazy Cat's Love, Death and the Fly, Homesteader, MDK2 HD, Crazy Cars Hit the
Oh.
Road, and then Stone Keep Bones of the Ancestors.
Wow, the only one I knew of was the MTK re-release.
A bunch of these are like iOS and Android games.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're mobile. Most of those were mobile, weren't they?
In fact, Stone Keep Bones of the Ancestors was the only game out of that huge list I just went through that, well, except for Legendary Wars T-Rex Rumble, that was for a console.
Yeah.
So, from the list of properties from that thing I linked to you, and from the list online, and keeping in mind certain things wouldn't be accessible, like, say, the Fallout series.
No, they already sold their rights to Bethesda.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or, what's another example? Alone in the Dark.
Oh yeah.
Rip.
That pretty much
Fuck
died
you
out.
anyway.
Well, no, not that. Like that very recent one, which was awful.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I forgot about that one.
a lot of people did.
A lot of
There are
people
no
did.
players.
Like
So
the
just
FD
looking
Husk
over
of
these
Atari
lists.
released that, you know.
Which ones would you rescue?
Well,
Not even
out of,
entire
out
games.
of the
which-
list on the
if there are
website.
like certain characters you would want, just for
Well,
anything.
obvious one is Earthworm Jim because
Are we listing this off the Wikipedia one?
Either or.
Well, rescue Earthworm Jim.
yeah, because the HD release was nice, but I would like a new game from him, and you know, and after Earthworm Jim 3D, which was, you know, I would much rather have a good new Earthworm Jim game.
Hell,
From somebody.
I like a
From
new
s-
Clay Fighter game.
I don't know about that. I mean, Clay Fighter was kind of to begin with.
I would like a new Clay Fighter game if they tried.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, and HD claymation in that style actually would probably look cool. So, you know, I'll give that a maybe.
Like, if
I
you
would
actually
have
have a battle system of some sort.
I
Even if
would have
it's
said
commercial.
Blackthorn, but that's by Blizzard,
That's
and
Blizzard.
they actually Blizzard's actually offering that game for free.
They have been for a while, actually.
Yeah, I did not know that. I mean, I have it on Super Nintendo. Thanks, Per Jared. But like, yeah, I guess I'll skip that.
I think you can download. You can get the PC version for free, I believe. But going back to
Wasn't there a recent Carmageddon game? Did they sell that already or no?
I forget what Carmageddon is. I don't think that's Interplay.
It's
It is.
Cuphead and 1 and 2 is on Interplay. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, but I believe the rights are no longer.
Yeah,
What
that's what
about
I was asking. I wasn't sure.
Booger Man?
No one bought that. Do we want
Yeah,
to
they
see
even-
Booger Man?
Yeah, and they even tried to kickstart it for a new Booger Man, or at least
Yeah, and
like
that failed.
yeah. So it's like nobody was really that keen on Booger Man, unfortunately.
I'm just bringing up some stupid shit.
Here's an run like hell.
Oh, good lord, no, fuck no, piss off. Mm-mm.
What's
Nope.
Run Like Hell?
It's a piece of shit. That's all you need to know. Just
I'll just say right now, all I know about Run Like Hell is reading it from like, was it on PlayStation 2 and Xbox?
yes.
Okay, it may have been it was either in one of the Xbox magazines I have, or the only PlayStation magazine I have, which I think was the Kingdom Hearts issue. But like, that's like another thing. It's like with Virtua Quest. I'm like, I'm not sure what the fuck Run Like Hell is, and it's probably not good.
It ain't. I played it. I can tell you. I got a short story if you got time.
No,
It's very short.
no, I'm gonna save that for my next rental and save that for the next.
No, I'm just gonna say, I bought it at a freaking flea market. Took it home, played it. I went
And it
back-
didn't work. I hate this game.
No, I tried to get through the first few levels. Oh God! Oh dear God! I went back to the flea market to try to get my money back. Sorry, no refunds.
Yeah, it's a flea market.
I was like, I don't care. Give me my money back. No refunds. How about if I smack you in the face? Okay, here's a couple other games.
Nope, you got
Flea
banned.
Market Madness.
By the time I went back, I was so pissed. He was just like, here's a couple of games for free. We'll call it even, okay?
So I did a Google search for Run Like Hell. The very first video result has the description: mediocre third-person shooter with a horror alien theme.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that sounds about right.
Okay.
I'll
Lost
throw one
Vikings is Interplay.
out.
Like Lost
I
Vikings
don't
is
remember
Blizzard.
if they have the rights for this or not, but the Descent games.
Yeah, and then they recently like settled a lawsuit for that finally.
Yeah.
Regardless, the series is for sale now. I haven't played Descent though. I heard it's like 3D first person type thing.
Yeah. Also, there's actually another game called Descent Underground, which is not out
Descent
yet. So
Underground.
what happens to
Sorry.
that?
What the
Sorry, what
hell
was
is
that?
Tommy Tronic?
Wait, there was a Rock and Roll Racing 2?
Yeah, it's called Red Asphalt in North America, I think.
Wow. I mean,
Wait, are
we
you-
already knew about the whole motor rock shit, but I was not aware of an actual Rock and Roll Racing 2.
Wait, that was like published by Interplay back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rock and Roll
Yeah.
Racing 1 is also...
Yeah, because that's yet another Blizzard thing.
Here's
Uh,
one. Redneck Rampage.
Yeah, no.
No.
Hell
but-
no.
Well, there's MDK and MDK2, which I heard were good. I remember playing a demo of one of them on Dreamcast. It seemed pretty cool. or
Yeah, I played
funny.
MDK too. That was alright.
Yeah,
Oh,
Uh,
Baldur's Gate games.
yeah, like Dark Alliance.
BioWare, I think.
Well, specifically the Dark Alliance series, sub-series. Which I actually did get the PlayStation 2 version of the first game. I haven't played it yet, but I have it. You know, and friggin' Fallout Brotherhood of Steel pretty much stole the game engine of Dark Alliance to make that. So, yeah.
My question is, what happens with the rights for example, all these Star Trek games that they did back in the day?
That's true, because I think like Star Trek, like 25th anniversary and stuff were published by Interplay.
They were.
I believe so.
Wasn't even going to mention that, considering the fact that I think who made the last Star Trek game?
What, the one based off of the movie?
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't very good.
No, I was trying to remember, and I think they have the license for the Star Trek franchise now. Either that or Warner Brothers does. I don't. No, it's Paramount. Paramount. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I-
because
I don't know why I was thinking Warner Brothers.
What
We're
I want
getting
to
off
know
track.
is anyone going to bother with Y2K the game?
I saw that on the list. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, please!
Does
That
that get
sounds-
released? Or
that sounds like a timepiece if I ever heard one.
It is.
How
I
to
got
date
better
your
one.
game?
I got a better one. What's gonna happen to the best license of all time with Waterworld!
Well, didn't they just make a Virtual Boy game? And then... But that was by Ocean, wasn't it?
Yeah, that
You
was
forget they also had the Waterworld arcade game, which took 40 quarters.
Yeah, you take 2 steps and you have to put in 40 more. Timeless classic.
Oh my!
I noticed another Worlds on this list, but I'm guessing that already got sold off to someone else.
More. Than
Yeah, I
likely,
believe. Yeah, because Interplay did a lot of publishing, so most of what they published, those are owned by the respective developers now, I think, or at least the original people.
So I have a bit of news.
Yeah.
Archive.org has a place where you can download Y2K the game.
Oh boy.
Is there footage?
There is footage. It's apparently about a computerized mansion that goes haywire.
Let me see if I can find anything. Oh, Y2K the game intro.
So while you guys are doing that, I should point out something. The president of Interplay, Eric Kayan, however you say his last name. Fun fact: when I was doing research back on Interplay, when I did Brotherhood of Steel, he was originally the president of Titus Games. Do you remember what they made?
Yes.
Superman.
Just ask
64.
Proton John.
Yeah, when he finally finishes his Let's Play in like 5 years. But but yes, the president of that company eventually became the president of Interplay, and then he's pretty much, and then since then it's been like just a slow downward spiral. So, go figure.
There's one game I noticed on this list, which actually no, I'm pretty sure someone else has the rights to this. Planescape Torment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I'm still looking up stuff for Y2K the game.
Mario's game gallery.
There's apparently someone posting the OST.
Yeah,
as
I saw
well
that
as
too.
Y2K freestyle to the game DDR song Japan.
What?
Oh, here's one. Mario teaches typing too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they published they did publish those old Mario PC games.
Yeah.
NBA Y2K? That's not what it's... Outcast Basketball. What the fuck? Okay, no, I can't.
Sounds
There's
like
not a lot on fucking Y2K the game.
I wonder why. And that was an unintentional pun, I just realized.
Okay, I think we've gone far enough down the rabbit hole on this.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, like, what we're rescuing, where we would technically rescue what, 3 properties minimum?
Well, of the ones that I've note, there's Earthworm Jim, MDK, Clay Fighter, Dark Alliance, Descent. There's a few, and I do hope that.
Oh, Battle Chess.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's why I said 3 minimum. How much max? Like what, 6?
6 or so. I don't know, but the point is, I do hope that good companies do buy these properties and do some games with them. That's all we can really hope, really.
And then EA buys them all up.
They're not gonna.
Better EA than nothing at all, really. Better than just
Konami?
leaving them in purgatory. Well, then again, I think EA owns the rights to the neighborhood, and they're not doing anything with that. So,
And there you go.
Well, on a brighter note, let's get away from that discussion topic and head into viewer questions.
Do we have viewer questions?
No, but we do have a comment.
Oh god.
Okay, well, we'll take any comments, sure.
Oh boy.
It's from Zero Master LP and Power Plays,
Oh fuck.
and it says, "Wow, my audio sounds terrible."
Well, was his audio that bad in the last podcast you did?
I didn't think it was.
Wasn't there a podcast where you said something went wrong? with the audio?
That's not the one he commented on. I don't know what to
Well,
tell you other than thanks, Skype.
Yeah, I mean, you're recording all of us through Skype, so what we sound through coming through depends on all our connections and everything. So there's going to be a downgrade regardless, even when we have good quality mics and stuff like that. So, I mean, sorry, Zero. Sorry, Zero. It's probably going to sound a little iffy or sound a little bit degraded because of that. Regardless, unless we all record our mics separately through Audacity and send files to like Scott, but that'd be a bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
That's way more work than it's worth.
Yeah,
I mean, until we get like a more efficient way to edit all of this.
exactly. At least it wasn't as bad as like, what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago when, for whatever reason, our voice qualities were really like low through your end on Skype. So whenever we did podcasts and stuff, we all sounded like really low quality and muffled for quite a while. And then I remember at one point,
and then somebody else had to record their audio, and I had to record my audio separately, and we had to match up the tracks.
yeah, because I would used to like record my end of the audio so that it would all sound at least somewhat decent, even though it would kind of like sometimes it would like overlap, and you would briefly hear bits where you could hear the low audio from either from you or from us, whichever end. But thankfully that was eventually resolved. Good old reminiscing on tech issues there.
So if anyone has a legit question to ask us, you can ask us in the comment section of the YouTube upload on the site, or you can ask us on Facebook, facebook.com/RiverCityGamers. In the meantime, though, let's head into video updates. Okay, I don't have a four-sided coin to decide this, so Oni, you just go.
Okay. Actually, let Unreal go first. I got a visitor.
What the
Okay, then Blondie, you go first.
Wait, who's going first?
Me. You.
Okay.
Oni. Unreal. Stone.
You!
Okay, I think I'm good now.
Okay, then go while you can.
I know I haven't posted anything in about almost a year. Good news is I'm actually recording some stuff now. I've already recorded 2 Snack Attack episodes, mostly when I've been trying to get the energy, but it's like ever since April, I've been busy. You know what it is. It's a family matter.
Then you don't have to say it here.
I'll just put it like that. It's a family matter that's been going on since April, and I do apologize.
You don't have to apologize for stuff like that.
It's so back and dishes this day and age.
I was waiting for that.
But I do have 2 episodes of Snack Attack recorded. It's on my camera, so that's good news. I actually have a few rants I've been recording, and I'm not going to upload because this is River City Gamers, not Oni bitches a lot.
Well, that'll just be on your own YouTube, right?
That'll be on my own YouTube if I ever decide to release them, which I kind of doubt. But the Snack Attacks, one of them I can say, and I hate you so much for this, Brad Jones. It's on Crystal Pepsi.
You know, I can't find any where I live. I'm kind of bummed because I actually want to try that.
It's pretty good, but then after you've had it like 2 or 3 more times, it ain't as good. More the initial thing. You'll see when I put it up. There was another one I recorded, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was, but my camera has it, so that's some good news.
Mystery video.
Yes, mystery video. I've been toying around the idea of another thing, and I blame Zero Master for this one too. You know, he's been doing that henshin time with the toys and amiibos and all that.
Yeah, he hasn't done that in a while.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that.
Like, with what exactly?
I think a franchise that's been overused, and I probably see like 20, 30 channels of it, Funko Pops. But all they do is like short little reviews of it, not really go into detail about it. And I'd like to go into more detail.
Here's my review. This thing has a round shitty head, round shitty limbs, and round shitty eyes. 10 out of 10.
You know, when I was at my EB Games, like, there's a whole giant shelf of them now. I'm just like, sheesh.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, I wasn't really into them at first, and then it's just like, I see a couple, because before this, I only had was the Stone Cold Steve Austin one, because WWE 2K16 promotion they were doing, so there you go. And I found Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, and they looked good, and I was just like, why not? I wish I had never made that choice. Anyway. That's SDR's version of it. Mine will be a little more. I don't know anymore.
I'm sorry, it's just when I see some of the things going on around the Funko Pop craze, I see a lot of similarities to the Beanie Baby craze of the old days. Except this time, there's not, like, overly excited, coked up people on a shopping network going, "This Funko Pop! Going for only $19.99!
You know, I compared the Beanie Babies thing to Amiibos. And I guess you can compare Amiibos to these as well.
So, are there trucks of Funko Pops being stolen?
No, but speaking of amiibos, I don't have those anymore.
Oh, right, because you just threw that in your Wii U in the garbage, right?
No, I traded in those amiibos, and I'm glad I did because guess what? Every time I go into GameStop or Walmart, I see them on clearance now, and I'm thinking it's because of the Toys to Life bubble popping because of Disney Infinity. Hell, they're 3-pack for, I think, was it Splatoon or Animal Crossing? I can't remember. I think I saw it for like $6.97. And I'm just like, yep, this is dead.
Well, it's not dead. It's just, it might be phasing out. It might be starting to phase out now, but it's still like, but at least it's a good time to collect if you're really into them.
Yeah.
The break haven't gotten yet.
Yeah.
I'm stuck with mostly Smash for the most part.
I only have 3.
I'm still missing Wii Fit Trainer, and
I only have 3 of them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
one of them was only because I thought I was gonna get for my brother, but he already had it for Christmas. So.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about doing that kind of review. Maybe if I do, I might do some test recording, see how it goes, because I really still haven't went through the limits of my new camera yet because of what happened last few months. And right now, of all the Funko Pops I have, I really hate the bobbleheads. Too. I mean, I love some of them, but it's just like most of them are like, oh good lord, why? I'm actually going to test something soon with gameplay footage since I did that Godzilla footage was it about a year ago when I did it? I can't remember.
Year or 2, maybe.
About that. I'm gonna be doing something soon, so expect some streams soon. And Unreal, have they done the YouTube stream for Xbox One, PS4 yet, or do you know?
What do you mean?
Like, have they done an update with the YouTube apps to incorporate, like, oh, you can stream games on your YouTube through your Xbox One or PS4 now?
What, you mean like
how Twitch has done it?
as in like being able to do it on PS4 and
Yeah.
shit? Yeah, the YouTube option's been there for PS4.
But you don't know about Xbox One.
Because I don't have an Xbox One. Of course I don't know.
Okay, alright, I'll find out. But yeah, I'm gonna try and test something with that, and if I do, the footage is gonna be saved onto YouTube until I can take it out. And I am a dumb fuck, so I'm gonna have to learn how to do it. Anyway, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna get back to the arcade room soon. But like I said, with everything that's happened since April, I pretty much had no motivation. I'm hopefully get a video up before Christmas.
Okay, I will go next. And my initial plans got pushed back severely because of, well, mainly because of Awesome Games Done Quick submissions, which, as of the time of this recording for the podcast, ended about 14, maybe 15 hours ago. So I was on like a week and a half grind prepping for that. Did get some submission in. Hopefully at least one of them gets through. We'll see. I have to wait like a month for that.
Well, I hope you get it, dude, because I love seeing you kicking ass on video games, especially in front of a live crowd. That probably is going to be... Where's it going to be held next year?
It's going to be in, I think it's Herndon, Virginia.
Oh, shit. I should get a drive down there.
I'm going back to work on SC on. I have most of my recording done. I have most of the script done. It's just a matter of being able to get the last sequence of levels down because holy shit, it's annoying. The final boss isn't even that bad, it's just getting to it. But beyond that, for this coming week, I do have planned an edition of Storming the Baseline, which I've wanted to do for a while. But the problem was, it's a Guilty Gear song. And the thing about Guilty Gear songs is they're usually mixed heavily toward the guitar, which makes the bass track really hard to hear sometimes. So I've had to very slowly work my way through it. Oh, and teaser coming soon. I think that's about it for me for updates, so Unreal?
Mine is going to be brief, because I really have nothing else to add, compared to what I've talked about with, the collab review and Umbrella Corps. I still want to do Umbrella Corps, but I decided I'm going to hold off on Umbrella Corps until next month. Yeah, of all the things I'm going to say, like, it's Halloween theme, here's Umbrella Corps, which isn't scary at all.
Perfect timing, because everyone will be not playing that by then.
Yeah.
Again, I don't need the footage. I just got to do it, and I'm like, I'll do it around October.
Your video sample was obtained.
Shit, that complicates things. God. But like I've been thinking about it. I'm just like, yeah, I'll do Umbrella Corps, or like actually sit down, hopefully like focus on that around the October time frame. Like, I could release it like near Halloween, or I can do it just sometime during that month. It's not this month. As for the collab review, still gotta work out some kinks on that. That's all I got.
Alright, well, I guess that leaves me. So, I'm now editing the next Black Sheep Game review, which is still a mystery of sorts. So you'll have to wait until that gets revealed. So that's hopefully I'll get that out soon. And then after that, I'm gonna go back to another Tales of game for that retrospective for Tales of Legendia on the PlayStation 2. So that's going to be next in the works. But I also have a couple other ideas in the back burner, at least for... I'm not sure if or when any of these would come out, but I am thinking about doing like top 10s of things. Like, it's just sort of been something I've been brainstorming, and it's sort of figuring out the lists and stuff for that. So I'm not exactly sure like when I'll be able to get around to those, because if I do those, it'll be like yet another thing I'll be doing on top of like all my other video series. I don't want to completely burn myself out, because I do take a while on my videos as it is. But so I do have ideas for top 10s. So maybe a top 10 video of something could come out sometime. And then there's also like another in retrospect I plan on doing sometime, or at least doing more of those. Those will be a while, but I still plan on doing them, and that's about it in terms of like just my main reviews.
And with that, we've reached the end of the podcast. So once again, I'm SCXCR.
I am Unreal.
Blondeguygamer.
Onirokaku.
I'm gonna see how much I have left in my bank account, because I may be making a bid on something.
Uh-oh.
Does it start with a Y?
Does it end in 2K the game?